achieved.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with your news of the day. Cowboys news of the day is that rookie corner Trevon Diggs broke a bone in his foot. He's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Now, 4 to 6 weeks, if you take that on the long end, maybe he's going to miss the rest of the year. Maybe he'll be back for a couple of games at the end. So Trevon Diggs out. The good news, Chido Awuzie activated from the IR. So likely after the bye week this weekend, when you play Minnesota, you'll have Chido back. Trevon Diggs will be out, which just carries on the theme of the Cowboys season, which is everybody's hurt. Just can't be healthy. So you're getting your best corner back in Chido, but you're losing your most promising corner who, I mean, that was one of the best things to watch the rest of the year was the development of Trevon Diggs and how is he going to look. Carson Wentz probably helped him get some confidence with a couple of throws he made to him. And watching Trevon Diggs was one of the things each week that, you know, gave you a little bit of hope, a little bit of purpose during the Cowboy game. So you'll probably have Chido back here when the Cowboys take on the Vikings. You will not have Trevon Diggs, and that's that. So where I want to go with that is the Cowboys plan to win the Super Bowl. And you can laugh. I don't mind. You can laugh. Obviously, this year, it's not going to happen. You know that I'm hoping that they lose every single game. But the plan, I want to hearken back to this year's NFL draft class. When the draft was over, our crew, we thought that they had a really nice draft. Nationally, a lot of people thought they had the best draft. And so now that we're halfway through a football season, let's examine. CeeDee Lamb, that's a hit. That's a big old hit in the first round. Your second round pick, Trevon Diggs, I believe that's going to work out to be a hit. He's going to, next year, I think that he'll be at least an average starting corner and maybe better. So that's your first 2 rounds. Third round, Neville Gallimore just had his best game of the season. I love what I saw from Neville Gallimore. So, hit. Fourth round, you had 2 picks. One was Reggie Robinson, who we haven't seen yet. One was Tyler Biadasz, who's going to be your starting center for the next 3.5 years. Hit. This is how you do it. This is how you build contenders. 1, have good quarterback play, and 2, have young, cheap talent on your football team that contributes. Right now, it looks like you've got at least CeeDee, Diggs, Gallimore, Biadasz that in year 2 are going to start for your football team. Hopefully down the stretch, we'll get to see some Reggie Robinson. Obviously, they're not liking what they're seeing in practice, but are they good judges of talent? We don't know. Hopefully, we'll get to see him. Hopefully, we'll get to see Bradley and I. But that's at least 4 hits, right? So now that takes me down the road to where I want to go. The reason that I am champion of Team Tank, founder, creator, CEO, need to file a trademark on Team Tank, is, and by the way, does anybody know what sound? I need some military help here. Do tanks have horns? Because I want to be able to, like on the radio, you know, womp, womp, beep, beep, toot, toot. But I don't know what sound a tank makes. I picture it being real badass, but I don't know what it would be. Here's the beauty of the tank, okay? And I'm talking to, well, everybody, but to the people who are like, oh, no, people who are at the top of the draft stay at the top of the draft and they're a bunch of losers. Are there bad organizations who don't save themselves in the draft? Of course there are. Here's the good news about the Cowboys. It's much like the Dallas Mavericks. They're not a bad organization. Now, the Cowboys aren't the best organization. At the very top, you have things that are hurdles and challenges. But when it comes to acquiring talent, on the whole, they've been pretty good at it. They're certainly competitive. So, your job now is to parlay your bad year, not bad organization. You're not going to be picking at the top of the draft for 5 years in a row. But the challenge now for the Cowboys is parlay your bad year, which is just bad luck. Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, Dak Prescott, Blake Jarwin, all gone, you know? So The challenge here is parlay that into what most equips you to go win the Super Bowl next year. Now, what does that? Right now, the Dallas Cowboys would pick third in the draft. Third. Now, I'm going to use a mock draft here just to give you an idea of what this means. Right now, at picking third, I'm going to use my buddy Jordan Reed because he did the most recent mock draft that I've seen from the draftnetwork.com. Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, Clemson quarterback, Ohio State quarterback, likely going 1-2 because they're awesome prospects, right? The Cowboys would be sitting at number 3. Now, at number 3, you could take literally any non-quarterback, and it would be the first non-quarterback off the board. So you scout him up, you find the best non-quarterback in the entire draft, and right now, if the season ended today, he's yours, Cowboy fan, if that's the route you choose to take. Now, in this case, he had them take Sewell, the offensive lineman from Oregon. So if Tyron's healthy and Lyle's healthy, well, then he can play left guard. And if one of them gets hurt, well, you've got a premier talent ready to play offensive tackle for you. So that's the route that he took. Now, let's just say, for fun, that the Cowboys are capable of winning this division and going to the postseason, just for fun. The difference would be you would now pick 19th because you'd be an underdog in the playoff game. So let's say you would lose that playoff game. And now you pick 19th because you were a playoff team. No matter what your record was, you're going to pick 19th. Or maybe you win that game and now you pick 25th or whatever when you lose the next game. At 19th, he has 3 offensive tackles off the board, the best guard off the board, so 4 offensive linemen. So instead of picking the first offensive lineman if you want, you're picking the 5th offensive lineman. 2 receivers off the board. Not that the Cowboys would pick a receiver here. The best linebacker in the draft off the board. At 3, you could pick him. At 19, you couldn't. The 4 best edge rushers off the board. So instead of picking the first one, you could pick the 5th one. And the top 3 corners are off the board. So instead of having your choice of every cornerback that's draft eligible in the entire country, you get the 4th one. And Zach Wilson and Trey Lance, the other 2 first-round quarterbacks, are off the board. So that's the difference. Now, here is the dream scenario for Team Tank. My dream scenario for Team Tank. The season ends, you sign Dak Prescott to a long-term deal. He heals up fine, you sign him. You guys can fight about this part if you want. But if you end up third and you don't have a shot at Lawrence or Fields, I don't really want to hear about the quarterbacks. Although Zach Wilson and Trey Lance, they're good prospects. But I'll take the sure thing with Dak, right? And I'll sign him. Now, at 1 and 2, you've got Lawrence and Fields are gone, but you've still got quarterback-needy teams right behind you. The Giants, Washington, they're 4 and 5 at the moment. New England, I believe, is 7 or 8. There's a bunch, right? There's teams that need quarterbacks that'll want to come up to you because quarterbacks can go in a hurry. Now, the blueprint for this, I had to go back and find when is the last time that number 3 was traded for a quarterback. And the answer is Sam Darnold. The Jets came up from 6. They went and got the 3rd pick. They picked Sam Darnold. What did it cost? It cost them number 6 overall, number 37 overall, number 49 overall. So that's their 1, 2 twos, and a 2nd-round pick the following year. This is the dream of Team Tank. This is how you load your team up and get ready to win the Super Bowl. Because now, in that scenario, you now have also your 2nd-round pick. So you have 4 picks in the top 50 of the draft. You've got a grand total of 13 or 14 in the draft this upcoming year. You've got an extra 2nd-round pick the next year. And your 1st-round pick still gets you a premier player because you haven't gone down too far. You could still maybe pick the top edge rusher. Maybe you could pick the top corner because there's a chance 4 of the first 5 picks are quarterbacks. And if you're sitting there at 6, then one dude gets to come off the board that's not a quarterback. And it's probably Sewell, the offensive lineman out of Oregon. So if you want the best linebacker, the best cornerback, I don't think there's going to be a defensive tackle for that pick. And you can go down further than that. But that is the dream of Team Tank. Parlaying your 1 bad season into 4 top 50 picks. That's the dream. Hit on 2 or 3 of those. Hit on 2 or 3 more picks throughout the draft where you've got like 9 more picks and get you 5, 6, 7 rookie contributors. Dak's back. Tyron's back. Lyle Collins is back. That's the Cowboys Super Bowl plan. Try your best. Watch these young players develop. Hope that they do. Hope that they lose. And then hope that they sign their quarterback and move down in the draft, get all the picks from a team that wants a quarterback, and rebuild this thing. That's the dream. Thanks for stopping by. Leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. Also, what a tank horn sounds like. Let me know about that. And also your favorite cartoon. Okay? Appreciate you. Make sure you're subscribed. Get your notifications turned on there. I love you. Bye.